Hi, this is video number 6, where I'm building an event management software from scratch. I've missed a few weeks due to me losing my voice over the holidays. Meanwhile, I have new key lights, a new camera, a new teleprompter, which overall should improve the quality of the production. We'll see. In this video, we'll refactor the front end and add an additional layer to the routing so we can differentiate between the public side and account side as well as an event side. We'll also add some content to the public side in forms of terms and conditions, privacy, as well as cookie policies. Let's get started. First, I'm going into the init endpoint of my web API project. I need another state for when the domain is invalid, so this will be indicated by an account ID of -1. Simultaneously, if the domain is null or www, then the account ID should be 0 to indicate you are at the top domain for painless events. With that out of the way, I'm going into the front-end project to restructure the components folder. I'm going to have an account section, an event section, and a www section for the main site. I'm moving most of my current components into the event section, and I need to clean up some dependencies here. The www as well as the account sections are getting their own layout TSX files. That's because they'll have different headers and footers, which we'll have to create. But for now I'm just leaving them as placeholders. I'm also creating a not found file here that will be served if the init call comes back with an account ID of -1, which means the subdomain is invalid. A loading page will be displayed while the page is waiting for the init call to be returned, which consists of a simple spinner. The app.tsx file will contain the routes of all three layouts as well as a not found file, so instead of just layout, I need to be more specific here. I also need to import the use auth here to access the account ID that comes back from the init call to be able to use the correct sections for the routing. I'm using a use state here for the account and event ID, as well as a timer that checks periodically if these values have changed. I'm moving all existing routes into the event section, meaning both account as well as event IDs are larger than 0. The second section is for accounts. This is where the account ID is larger than 0, but the event ID is not. For now, every call will be routed to the account layout file, which consists of one line of text. The third section is for the public website. This is where anyone coming to painlessevents.com can register for an account and download the software. This will go to public-layout.tsx. The next section will be for invalid accounts, meaning the init call comes back with an account ID of -1, and so the subdomain does not exist. This will route to not found TSX and should be equivalent to a DNS error. And finally, the last section will be executed when the account ID is -2, meaning the init call has not concluded, and so this will be a loading screen. I'm tweaking the code here a bit with some minor modifications. We can see here the account and event page in action. Entering invalid subdomains also leads to the expected DNS error page. Now I'm going to expand on the public side by adding a header and footer file as well as a start.tsx file to the folder. And finally, I'm adding these three files to the layout.tsx file. Back in the app.tsx file where all the routing happens, I surround the start page with a public layout in the public section. And just like that, I have a header, start and footer when going to the public site. Here I'm modifying the header a bit so it's a bit more distinct with a gray background. Equally, I'm modifying the footer as well. Besides the logo, the footer is getting a few columns that I'll fill with links to terms and conditions as well as privacy and cookie policies. Before I populate the text for the terms and conditions, I will style each header from H1 to H6 accordingly in the app CSS. This will be available globally and can of course be modified and overwritten later on the account and event pages. And here's where I actually add text to the terms and conditions page. This is pretty boring and I'll super fast forward this bit before you fall asleep on me. Here I'm adding bookmark links to the table of contents so users can jump right to the relevant section of the page. Now I'm creating a legal folder under the www where I'll stuff the terms component into together with the privacy and cookie policy. And here's where I add text to the cookie policy, and once again I'm super fast forwarding here as not to bore you with the details. Same with the privacy policy here. Nothing more boring than watching someone copy-paste endless paragraphs of legal text. In the end, what's left is adding an additional link to the footer of the public page, as well as add the route to the app TSX, and I'm done with this. Finally, I'm adding a not found or 404 page to the public side, and I'm also adding this to the app TSX for proper routing. Now that we have some content, we're getting closer to get ready to publish. In the next video, we'll bring the project online as version 1.0 and make it available for users to download. Thanks for watching.